They're gonna put you all back in chains.
Whoa! Whoa!
They're gonna put you all back in chains.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whole career. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy, he always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done. We didn't agree on much of anything. We got things done.
I think the two-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind.
My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state. It's that old school white male.
But most importantly, Joe knows us.
That's right.
Just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. You ain't black. Why does
In the Orient.
there's not a racist bone in my body?
But I tell you,
You can say it.
Oh, okay. Racist people say that.
But it's not racist bone on nobody?
Yeah.
It's that old school white.
We don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party is diverse.
So basically, people think like Asians are like smart as ever.
Is that for part 2?
That is crazy. Hold on.
was over there in Iraq for a year. People would come to him and talk about what was happening at home in terms of foreclosures, in terms of bad loans that were being, these Shylocks who took advantage of these women and men. Back from Mumbai.
I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up, reach in the pool, and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Joe really is that ignorant, and that is who the Democrats want you to stand in line and vote for.
Wait, is that a
What? On my lap. Even call centers was rushed overseas in the hundreds of thousands. How many times you get the call? I'd like to talk to you about your credit card. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. White male who feels like, hey man, they need me, I don't need them, or I got them already.
Joe Biden is under fire this evening on comments he made about working alongside segregationist senators in the past. Biden.
Not a racist bone in my body. But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yeah.
For him to say that about black kids, I learned about roaches. That had nothing to do with little kids or whatever rubbing your leg. He said, yeah, I know about roaches, cockroaches, it's like.
It's not it's just like this whole setup right here is just, I don't know, it just don't seem right.
And I love kids jumping.
Concerned by that rhetoric?
I don't know what to say. I got criminal justice reform done and prison reform and opportunity zones. I took care of black colleges and universities. I don't know what to say. They can say anything. They can say anything. It makes me sad.
Let me ask you very quickly, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history.
You made a reference to Abraham Lincoln. Where did that come in?
You said you're Abraham Lincoln.
No, where did that? No. I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community.
And I
didn't say I'm Abraham Lincoln. I said not since Abraham Lincoln has anybody done what I've done for the black community. Now, you have done nothing other than the crime bill, which put
tens
of thousands of black men, mostly in jail.
All right, let me
You know what?
ask
They
Vice
remember it,
President
because if
Biden
you look
a
at what's
question.
happening with the voting right now,
Let me ask
they
Vice
remember
President
that
Biden
you treated them
about
very, very badly. Just take a
to vote for a Democrat. Local, state, federal elections, I don't care what it is. You couldn't pay me to vote for one. You know why? Because they know that we, and I mean people whose skin color look like mine, they know that we vote party over interest. So after we vote, what do? They don't need us for anything. That's what they do. Year after year after year. I'm from Baltimore, and I go home at least twice a year to see family. Same abandoned homes, same crime rate. We haven't had a Republican mayor since the 60s. And look at our environment. The same can be said for Memphis. The same can be said for St. Louis. The same can be said for Detroit. The same can be said for a lot of these cities all over this country that have been led down the toilet by Democrats for decades. Stop voting party over interest and vote interest over party.
The fuck?
He a boss. They try to force this narrative on Trump a bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. If it's a bandwagon on to hate this person, people don't think for themselves no more.
Why? The black vote is 90% for Biden, at least.
Like, whatever he say is genuinely how he feel.
Oh, I agree with that, but what he says is what drives me crazy.
I'd rather hear somebody say it, and I might not like it, and it's their truth, than to somebody that has been paid to say something and they not acting on how they really feel.
Well,
he created more jobs.
No, he didn't. Biden created 12 million jobs in the 2.5 years that
You know that Trump created over 8 million, and the only reason Biden has created over 12 million is because people came back to work from COVID. So they've actually included those numbers.
Trump did not.
Under Trump White House, unemployment rate fell to a 50-year low, and more Americans were employed than ever before.
That's not true.
Facts. Dropping bars on them. And
For 10 or 15 years.
yo, he just keeps pushing he just keeps moving the goal. You get what I'm saying?
His job to put in jail.
But he's doing that to Trump. You're contradicting yourself.
People that in Trump's administration.
NationalArchives.gov is not true.
Look at your.
My source is the White House. And you know who signed the crack crime bill?
Trump even gave felons the right to vote. People don't even know that. If another person was putting crack cocaine on the camera, showing it to the world, wouldn't you want them to be locked up?
I want them to be charged, yeah, if they've committed a crime, yeah.
Like, realistically, like if I did that, put crack cocaine on the camera, put a gun on my side, they'll be like, that boy, that nigga boy. Like, that's the truth. We gotta live in a reality.
Inflation being so high that people need to work 2 or 3 jobs.
Inflation is way down.
He's literally putting crack on the camera.
You mean coke?
No, crack. Coke is a different.
But crack, coke, same thing.
See, I would agree with you, but it's not. Let me tell you.
Penalties can be different. COVID virus. All he did was a tax cut for the wealthy, and he didn't.
No, he actually did the Platinum Plan for Black Americans, and he put the most funding into HBCU, Black universities. That's 100% fact.
Not true.
That's 100% fact.
You said Biden.
DOJ not weaponized against Trump now with 4 indictments. Is the press not weaponized with 90% of the press against? Why?
Fox
killed anybody.
Genocide the way he handled the COVID vaccine and everything.
He made the vaccine.
No, he did not make the vaccine.
Operation Warp Speed.
Well, it was already been made for
Racist?
Yes, he is.
He's not a racist.
How are you?
He would be the worst president.
Do you know what a dictator is?
I absolutely know what a dictator is. Look at Putin.
What about Hitler?
Hitler was a dictator.
And is Trump similar to Hitler?
He's similar to Mussolini.
Trump's never committed genocide. Like, your points make no sense. Trump's never.